would match what she had left behind. Perhaps it was a way to imagine what might lie ahead. She loved those stories. She knew exactly how the house would look if she had her way. There wasn't a window she hadn't mentally dressed, an inch of floor she hadn't recovered. She knew how the lake looked from every east-facing room. She stopped at the side door and, out of habit, reached into her pocket for a key. Once it had been locked daily, but there was little point now. Everyone around here knew there was nothing to steal. The house sagged, its paint peeled as if it could no longer be bothered even to reflect on its grand past. Downstairs, several missing panes had been covered with odd bits of wood. The gravel was sparse and overwhelmed by nettles, which brushed malevolently at her shins. "Mr. Pottersworth? It's me, Laura." She waited until she heard a grunt upstairs. It was wise to alert the old man to one's arrival. The lintel was still peppered with shot from the occasions when she had forgotten. Luckily, her husband had remarked, the old bugger had always had a poor eye. "I brought you your dinner." She listened for the answering grunt, then went upstairs, the wood creaking under her feet. She was fit and barely needed to draw breath after several steep flights of stairs. But all the same, she stood for a moment before she opened the door to the master bedroom. What might have been a sigh or a flicker of resignation passed through her before she placed her hand on the doorknob. The window was partially open, but the smell of elderly, unwashed mail hit her squarely and sourly, with its attendant underlying odours of dust-filled soft furnishings, camphor and stale beeswax. An old gun was propped beside the bed, and the colour television they had bought him 2 years ago stood on a small table. Age and neglect could not disguise the room's elegant dimensions, the way the frames of the bay window neatly bisected the sky. But the visitor's attention was never allowed to linger long on its aesthetic qualities. "You're late," said the figure in the old carved mahogany bed. "Only a few minutes," she said, deliberately bright. She placed the tray on the table beside him and straightened. "I couldn't get away. I had my mother on the phone." "What did she want? Didn't you tell her I was over here, starving?" Laura's smile barely wavered. "Believe it or not, Mr. Pottersworth, you are not always my sole topic of conversation." "I bet Matt is, though. What's he been up to now, then? She ring you up to tell you you'd married beneath you, did she?" Laura turned to the tray. If there was a slight stiffening in her back, Mr. Pottersworth failed to see it. "I've been married 18 years, she said. "I hardly think my choice of husband is breaking news." There was a loud sniff. "What is it? I bet it's cold." "Chicken casserole with a baked potato, and it's not remotely cold. It's had a lid on." "I bet it's cold. Lunch was cold." "Lunch was salad." A mottled head with a scattering of grey hair emerged from beneath the quilt. 2 snake-lidded eyes rested on her and narrowed. "What do you want to wear your trousers so tight for? You trying to show everyone what you've got?" "They're jeans. It's how everyone wears them." "You're trying to get me overheated, that's what. Trying to get me all befuddled with lust so you can kill me with your treacherous feminine ways. Black widow, that's what they call women like you." "I know." She ignored him. "I brought you up some brown sauce for the potato. Do you want it on the side of your plate?" "I can see your nubbles." "Or would you prefer grated cheese?" "Through that top. I can clearly see your nubbles. Are you trying to tempt me?" "Mr. Pottersworth, if you don't stop carrying on, I won't bring you your dinner anymore. So stop looking at my nubbles, right now." "Shouldn't wear saucy little see-through brasiers like that, then. Back in my day, a respectable woman wore a vest, a good cotton vest." He raised himself against his pillows, the gnarled hands twitching with remembrance. "You could still get a good feel, though." Laura McCarthy counted to 10, making sure her back was to the old man. She looked down surreptitiously at her T-shirt, trying to work out how much of her brassiere he could actually see. Last week he had told her his eyesight was failing. "You send that boy of yours up with my lunch. Hardly says a word to me." The old man had begun to eat. A sound not unlike a blocked drain clearing filled the room. "Yes, well..."